No, I ain't. Hey, look. The matchmakers know their job. They know better than me what they doing. But right now, they got the hottest division, and ain't nobody fighting. You got Islam out there playing Wrestleball, you know. You got Prates out there partying and clubbing. You got Morales out there twerking and twirling. You got JDM still at the house crying. You got Leon missing again. You got Bilal trying to sell war meals. You got Ian Gary watching in the corner. Boy, I don't know what's going on. Like, what's going on with the welterweight division? We got to get things active. And then, oh yeah, Shavkat gone. And Shavkat knocked out the ring.
That's Justin Gaethje moving up to 170 for fun, for shits and giggles. Justin Gaethje says, frick it. I'm moving up to 170 fight Islam. Could be interesting, especially with Khabib beating Justin, but I bet Justin's probably...
I win at 170. The 70 champ or the 70 champs team is not liking what I said, which just blew my mind because I wasn't being disrespectful. I just was kind of caught off guard about the situation. And I just said what a lot of people was probably thinking. So I'm the bad guy, but it is what it is, you know. At the end of the day, if it's there,
you have to make Carlos Prates fight Michael Morales, #1 contender. That's one. That's one. You cannot pick one. But check this out. Check what I'm about to say. Now, still, stylistically, and particularly a guy like Prates, I do believe that the UFC is probably going to give him Carlos Prates because they like him. Bro, stylistically, that's a great matchup for Islam Makhachev.
Henry Cejudo's analysis suggests that Prates' style, which relies heavily on pressure, power, and forward movement, could play directly into Makhachev's strengths.
Notice what Ian Gary did to Prates. You know what I'm saying? Prates only won one round from him. To me, in my opinion, Ian Gary only won one round from Islam Makhachev. Like, the reality is, at 170 pounds, the guy that's undefeated, I think it should probably be Michael Morales, dude.
Coming to Carlos Prates' response to the Michael Morales comparison, the surging welterweight contender dismissed any suggestion that Morales has a better chance of dethroning Islam Makhachev.
Morales, according to the odds makers, has a greater chance in their mind of beating him than you. He's like a smaller underdog than you. How do you feel about that?
I don't know. I think it's okay. You know, Morales, I think people think Morales can fight better than me just because he's stronger. You know? Because, of course, on the strike, I would kill Morales. And grappling, I don't know. Everybody called that guy a wrestler, but I never saw him try a takedown. You know, so I don't know. Maybe people say like Morales would have like more chance to beat Islam.
Arman Tsarukyan has weighed in on the two-belt debate, offering a surprisingly diplomatic take on Islam Makhachev's status, acknowledging the champion's achievements while hinting that the situation may serve a larger purpose for the promotion.
why do you have 2 belts? Aura?
No, it's not bothering me. It's just he's double champ, and he was a champion 155. So, and he never lose, you know, in 155. He's still like kind of ex-champion in 155 and current champion in 170. It makes sense.
He did have a good reply, Islam. Did you see his reply?
No.
You're too busy. He said, I don't know, bro. It's even too heavy to hold, but you don't understand. Sorry.
What don't understand?
That Max doesn't understand what it's like to be a champion in 2 different weight classes at the same time or at 2 different points in his career. The whole 2 belts.
Yeah. I mean, it's good for marketing for the UFC. It's good.
Sure.
Islam Makhachev has addressed the growing speculation about his Dagestan teammates potentially joining the UFC in the same weight class, and while he acknowledged the situation, he made it clear that some lines will never be crossed. He emphasized that the bond they share goes beyond competition, and that fighting each other is simply not something they would ever consider, leaving the door open for how they'll manage the inevitable crowding at the top of the division.
Teammates never fight each other is Aljo and Merab. Merab and Aljo's like, we will never fight each other. Like, friendship is way more than money. But so I didn't know if you guys have that code. It's like, guys, we're not gonna fight each other.
Myself, when Khabib become champion,
Yep.
I'm never gonna. It's not happening, you know, because when I beginning this sport, Khabib's like from the first day helped me, you know, how we gonna fight each other. It's not like about friends, you know, we're all brothers, you know. And it's not possible, you know, it's not possible for our teammates to fight each other.
Shifting to the criticism of Dana White's media stance, MMA Guru has called out the UFC president for what he sees as a clear double standard when it comes to Islam Makhachev's performances. The creator argued that White consistently blames Makhachev's opponents when fights turn out to be lackluster, deflecting any criticism away from the champion while throwing his rivals under the bus.
Dana White, and we can go into this right here. Dana White says Ian Gary lost to Islam Makhachev because he didn't have any killer instinct. Ian's a talented guy. If he had an ounce of killer instinct in that 5th round, you don't come out and... I agree. Ian Gary needed to have more killer instinct in that fight. Why is it always on the opponent to make the fight interesting and exciting? Why is it never on these guys, man? If Tyron fucking Woodley was having performances like Islam Makhachev, you'd have jumped him with Hunter Campbell backstage by now. And don't tell me I'm wrong!
Breaking down his perspective, Prates acknowledged Morales' physical strength, but argued that technique and skill are what truly matter at the highest level. While he gave the undefeated Ecuadorian his due respect, he firmly believes that Morales is being overrated as a threat to Makhachev simply because of his physical attributes. Prates made it clear that he sees himself as the more skilled fighter, particularly in the striking department, and questioned whether Morales' grappling credentials are as formidable as some claim. He suggested that strength alone won't be enough to solve the puzzle of the pound-for-pound champion, and that those who favor Morales based on size are overlooking the technical gap between the two contenders.
People say like Morales would have like more chance to beat Islam because he's bigger, you know, like he's really heavy. But about techniques and things like that, I think I'm much better.
Do you think he's overhyped, Morales?
No, not overhyped. He's really good. He's undefeated. But I think people think like he can have more chance to beat Islam.
Turning to Javier Mendez's take on who's next for Islam Makhachev, the champion's longtime coach has made it clear that the team is ready for whoever the UFC puts in front of them. Mendez stated that Makhachev is prepared to defend his welterweight title against any of the top contenders Michael Morales, Carlos Prates, or Shavkat Rakhmonov without preference or hesitation. The welterweight division is stacked with intriguing challengers. Morales is undefeated and physically imposing. Prates is on a knockout streak with wins over former champions, and Rakhmonov remains the undefeated finisher that many see as the biggest threat to Makhachev's throne. For Makhachev's camp, the message is simple. Bring on whoever is next, and the result will be the same. Max Holloway eyes title shots against Makhachev.
I think Kamaru is the toughest stylistically for us because he's got great wrestling and experience, and he has good striking also. And I think he stylistically is the toughest. And that doesn't mean that Kamaru beats all the other guys. I'm just saying for us, he stylistically is the toughest. But you know, Ian Gary, he's good, man. All those guys are very good, but I like stylistically, and only because that's what Islam wants. And this is the reason. Islam wants Kamaru. That's why I want Kamaru. Otherwise, I don't really care. He's the best in the world. Put whoever you're going to put in front of him. That's it. That's the way I look at it. Give him the best.
Or McGregor rematch. Months after losing the BMF title to Charles Oliveira by unanimous decision at UFC 326 in March, Holloway shared his options on social media this week. He highlighted his win at 170 pounds and past history with the 155 champ, while noting the welterweight team wasn't thrilled with his recent remarks. Fans are divided. Some cheer the blockbuster potential. Others say he needs more wins first before jumping to titles.
A win at 170, the 70 champ or the 70 champs team is not liking what I said, which just blew my mind because I wasn't being disrespectful. I just was kind of caught off guard about the situation. And I just said what a lot of people was probably thinking. So I'm the bad guy, but it is what it is, you know, at the end of the day, if it's there.
Fresh off his dominant win over Ian Gary at UFC 330, the welterweight champion is already looking ahead. He's made it clear he wants to fight before Ramadan, targeting a return by the end of the year or in January 2027. The urgency is real at 34. He knows his window is finite, and he's determined to stay active while he's still in his prime. Adding to that, the champion has already mapped out his ideal next opponent. Carlos Prates is at the top of his list. The Brazilian's activity and recent knockout wins over former champions have earned him the nod. Makhachev has also acknowledged Michael Morales and Shavkat Rakhmonov as viable options, but made it clear that Prates has done the most to deserve the shot. That's all for this breakdown of what's next for Islam Makhachev. Drop your thoughts below on who you think should be next, Prates, Morales, or someone else. Like and subscribe for more coverage, and we'll see you in the next one.